the Madman! Welcome to today's card review. We got 10 cards in the whole. Dreamway Guardians, 2 mana, summon 2 1/2 Druids with lifesteal. Druid is getting a whole package of healing cards, and what they need are more cards that heal. Will Dreamway Guardians help fix that? Druid is also getting a bunch of token type cards. They got the Druid of the Acorn. Follow up that 1-drop with these 2 Fireflies on turn 2. And the fact that they're on 2 bodies is arguably even better than a 2/4 in the sense that they can both be buffed with a card like Power of the Wild. Speaking of buffing this with Power of the Wild, when they're buffed enough, maybe they actually get around to healing enough for all of your heal synergy cards. Dreamway Guardians paves the way for the dream of Lifeweaver to follow it up. 3 mana 2/5. Whenever you restore health, add a random druid spell to your hand. Attack with both druids. Get 2 cards. That's really, really good. Plus, it's very difficult to deal with a 5 health minion on turn 3. So you can actually just play this for the stats on turn 3 without having any synergy, and then go for the synergy at a later time. So we can see that Druid is really set up for all these healing lovers. We just need more healing cards. What about this next card for Druid? Is it going to be the card that ties in Heal Druid? 8 mana, 4/8 Lucent Bark, Druid Legendary. Taunt, Death Rattle, go dormant, restore 5 health to awaken this minion. This really cements the Heal Druid's theme. And yes, people laugh at the stats, and yes, it's not meant to be immediate value, it's meant to be value over time. Sherazin, which was a 4 mana 5/3, saw a decent amount of play as well. And the requirement for that to go undormant was pretty tough. This, all you have to do is to restore 5 health. And then it just comes back. Imagine if you duplicate this too with a card like Floop. You could have 4 Lucent Barks on the board, and then each time they die, and then you restore 5 health, you awaken all of them. And you don't have to restore 5 health all in one go. You could hit them with 2 Dryads or something. Now I feel like what all of these Druid cards are missing is one more card on top of Crystal Power. Crystal Power was huge. This is the card that's definitely going to see play if a Heal Druid deck comes around and is good. But it feels like we need more than just Crystal Power to activate everything. And yes, there's a few other cards out there, but those all seem like not great choices to put in the deck. Will we finally see Ancient of Lore come back with the potential to restore 5 health, which is the magic number? Yeah, it also doesn't seem like such a great choice, but option. Paladin Spell, Desperate Measures, 1 mana, Twinspell, cast a random Paladin Secret. A lot of people immediately dismiss it as trash because Paladin Secrets are bad. It's even worse if it's a random Paladin Secret, right? Here's the thing, if you bundle trash together, then suddenly that trash turns into value. Firefly is kind of trash bundled together. I mean, a 1 mana 1/2 is trash, right? Can that be compared to be on the same level as a Paladin Secret? The other thing about Desperate Measures is when you play a Paladin Secret, like, your opponent has a decent guess about what it is, but when it's Desperate Measures, random secret, they have to really play around. Oh crap, did they randomly get Noble Sacrifice? Or should I kill that thing first for redemption? But wait a second, it could be the Divine Shield. So, ooh, which one do I attack into which one first? It provides kind of a tricky situation for the opponent. So it's like you have to ask yourself, is the Paladin Secret really that bad that it's worse than a 1/2? And if it is worse than a 1/2, is it that much worse than a 1/2? There's even an upside. Commander Orisa can trigger your secrets twice. Quadruple secret activation with 1 card. Now that's what I call collateralized value. Call to Adventure, 3 mana Paladin Spell. Draw the lowest cost minion from your deck. Give it +2/+2. This card mixes the mechanic from Piper, which gives you an immediate 3/3 and costs 1 more, for the hand buff effect of 2/2. And hand buff has been shown to, when you compare it to immediate stats, to be significantly worse. There is the catch that maybe with enough draw the lowest cost minion from your deck type effects, you could really abuse a low cost minion, such as Immortal Prelate. Buffing Immortal Prelate tends to be pretty good with Call to Adventure because the buff stays. But really, I don't think an Immortal Prelate deck is going to be good enough. If it is good enough, there's always the risk that it gets blown out by silence. And it wasn't good enough previously. It's just too slow. Now we've got some pretty sweet rogue cards coming up. Underbelly Fence, 2 mana 2/3 Battlecry. If you're holding a card from another class, gain +1/+1 in Rush. This enables us to really look at the set as a whole and see, wow, some internal synergies are really strong here. Is a 2 mana 3/4 Rush good? Why, yes it is. Is a 0 mana deal 4 good? Why, yes it is. The problem with Value Rogue in the past has been a lack of being able to stay alive. 2 mana 3/4 Rush, 0 mana deal 4 might be good enough to stay alive and then be able to cast your ultimate value type cards, of which we are getting an enormous mega holy ultimate value card. Tack Gnaw's Whisker, 7 mana 6/6 legendary. Whenever you shuffle a card into your deck, add a copy to your hand. Play Tack Gnaw's Whisker, play Preparation, Academic Espionage. If you are at 10 mana when you do that, which is pretty standard given that you have to assemble a 3-card combo of which one is legendary, then you're still going to have 2 mana left over to cast 2 of the best cards that you shuffled into your deck immediately. Additional benefit is you know which cards you shuffled in, so you can know which cards to expect when you draw. That is ultimate value to perhaps immediately add up to 10 1-cost cards into your hand, which can cost 10 mana. That could be some incredible value, such as the 10 mana card Pyroblast, and who knows, maybe even a Sheep. If you haven't seen the card reveal for this yet, by the way, it's incredible. Take a look. Warlock gets Aranci Broodmother, 6 mana 4/6 Demon, Taunt. When you draw this, restore 4 health to your hero. Really interesting to see a when you draw this get a benefit type card. We don't see that many of them. It was tried out in Flame Leviathan and Sea Reaver. This one gives you a strict benefit when it goes off, restoring 4 health to your hero. Always useful for a Warlock. It's very similar to Rotten Applebomb. This one front loads your healing, which is better than Rotten Applebomb, because it means you don't have to play this card, and it's like a rebate on your life tap. Sometimes your life tap is gonna just give you 2 health instead of losing you 2 health. Where this really comes into play as something very spicy is if you're playing the Infinite Plot Twist deck. You can just shuffle your Aranci Broodmother back in your deck, and this is your way of perhaps getting a bunch more health and staying more alive while you're pulling off this infinite twist. So does this card look like it sucks? Yeah. 6 mana 4/6 Taunt, which just restores you 4 health. Why not just run Rotten Applebomb? Well, in exactly this plot twist deck, Aranci Broodmother could end up playing a serious role. One of those, I thought I was gonna sneeze, but I didn't. For neutrals, we've got 10 mana 6/6 Big Bad Archmage. At the end of your turn, summon a random 6-cost minion. This is very similar to Spiteful Summoner. When Spiteful Summoner got nerfed to 7 mana 4/4, Battlecry summoned usually an 8 or 10-cost minion, usually a 10-cost minion. It didn't see much play. So what chance does a 10 mana Spiteful Summoner effect have? Well, unlike Spiteful Summoner, it's at the end of your turn, which means that it's a constant threat. If they don't remove the Big Bad Archmage on the first turn, then you keep getting 6-cost minions. It's fairly similar to Hogger, 6 mana 4/4. At the end of your turn, summon a 2/2 null with Taunt. The card just provides so much value over time, so your Hogger would immediately get targeted down by the opponent. Bad news versus Hogger is that Big Bad Archmage costs just 4 more mana. It does give you more benefits, but the opponent will have so much more time to have an answer to the Big Bad Archmage. So where Big Bad Archmage could see play is if you cheat him out. So how do you cheat out Big Bad Archmage? Well, 2 quick ways to do it would be with Eureka or with Muckmorpher. Will that be consistent enough? I'm thinking probably not, but don't dismiss too easily this constant summon a 6-cost minion every turn. If that's on the board, that is terrifying. Finally, last but not least, saved for last because Archmage Vargoth is going to be the special legendary that everyone is going to get, and they'll get it on April 5th. which is 4 days before the expansion releases. Archmage Vargoth, 4 mana 2/6. At the end of your turn, cast a spell you've cast this turn. Targets are random. The fact that you're getting this 4 days ahead of the expansion means Archmage Vargoth will be played in the old standard as well, which means you get to combine this with all sorts of cards that may be overpowered with Archmage Vargoth, such as, but not limited to, Lesser Diamond Spellstone. Get back Archmage Vargoth, and then Archmage Vargoth will cast Diamond Spellstone again, and then get back another Vargoth, as well as perhaps another few cards. Very terrifying. You'll have a few days to Archmage Vargoth Mage Quest in order to get 2 more turns. You could even Oaken Summons into Archmage Vargoth with Druid on turn 4, and then Archmage Vargoth will cast another Oaken Summons and get the Ironwood Golem, which will protect Vargoth. You'd have to high roll for that, but boy would that be powerful. And then the turn after, you would be able to cast even more spells, which would get duplicated. But let's not talk too much about the 4-day meta of Archmage Vargoth. Let's talk about new meta. Archmage Vargoth is a lot like Electra Storm Surge, except he's neutral. A lot of decks out there would run Electra Storm Surge if they could, and this card is way more threatening than Electra Storm Surge because you have a 6 health minion that's staying around with an effect that's insane. If you're casting any spell that costs 4 or more, then you're basically getting a 2/6 for free. And if you're casting a spell that costs 6, then you're getting a 2 mana discount on the bonus 6 cost that you're getting. There are really a lot of insane cards in New Standard that'll be good. Ferocious Howl, of course the Shield Block from Warrior, Omega Assembly. Can you imagine how good 2 Omega Assemblies are? Deadly Shot, Unleash the Beast would give you some tremendous value if you cast it on turn 10. Casually Vargoth plus Reign of Toads in order to get a full board of Toads on the board. Double your Mind Blast, have it die, and then play Mass Resurrect. Vargoth and 2 other guys resurrect, and then Vargoth will cast Mass Resurrection again. So yeah, Vargoth has a lot of uses. Probably gonna see him in a bunch of decks. So you've got 2 more days of cards coming. I've got April 2nd, which is another card reveal, and then April 3rd is going to be the reveal stream, and all the cards will be shown. So looking forward to seeing all the cards and seeing how all of these synergies finally tie together. Clearly a set which has a lot of internal synergy, so gotta see all of the cards before rating them. I wonder what fools would possibly rate cards before seeing the whole set. That would be dumb.